with the connection or whatever, so I had to remake the video again. This is the life of a, I guess, YouTuber. I guess this kind of thing happens. I guess my first time. But for those of you who were tuned in before, I guess I have to say it all over again. What I was saying, but please hit the like, share, subscribe. YouTubers do it and say it, and anyway, brand new to this, help me out, guys. Anyway, so we are at a point of inflection, right? And introspection is needed right now in the world that we're in, because at this point, men are completely confused as to what they need to do. They literally don't know what to do. Like, even me, myself, at times I struggle with it. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell other men, right? I really don't. And sorry guys, I am at work and trying to post as well. Right. Anyway, nothing going on. It is what it is. All right. So guys, men don't know what to do. They really don't, right? Because the same women that tell men to be leaders, providers, protectors, keyword protectors, are the same women that say they don't need them. Now, the question I have for these said women would be, how can you say you don't need a man, but you expect him to protect and provide for you? How does that work? Somebody, please tell me. These are the fears that are happening in a man's mind, right? Like I said before, I was watching Just Party Things yesterday, and she was interviewing Andrew Wilson, a great debater. And she's at the point where now she basically is saying that, you know what, this generation is cooked. There is nothing that can be done, right, whatsoever, as far as changing the tide that's going on, as far as feminism is concerned and all that good stuff, right? And he's at the point where he agrees with her for the most part, but he's also at the point where, okay, we can't just do nothing. And the debate lasted for almost 2 hours, and they were going back and forth, and her main point was, okay, sell it to me. Just sell it to me. Like, what would incentivize a man to get married today? She was just okay, sell it to me. I agree with you, Andrew, but sell it to me. And he just couldn't do it. He really couldn't do it, right? I guess at the end of the day, he said, well, what's in it for man is family and children. But that obviously was not good enough at all. It just wasn't. It wasn't good enough at all, because that's a misnomer. Because the presupposition is that once you have a family as a man, you're going to be happy, but that's not the case, because we know that in a marriage, the statistics right now are about 42% of marriages end in divorce. Now, when they interviewed a very prominent divorce lawyer, he said if you add another, say, 25%, those are the marriages that they're still together, but they're absolutely miserable. So we can safely assume that about 70% of the marriages today they either end in divorce or they are unhappily married, and this could be for various reasons. It could be, okay, they're just holding on for the children to go to college so they can divorce. They're both miserable together. They can't stand each other, but they're paying the bills together, and so on and so forth. They're financially tied, and so on and so forth, right? But then he filtered it down a little bit more, and then he said that about only 10% of all the marriages, when interviewed, right, only about 10% can actually say, you know what, we are in perfect harmony and we're in marital bliss. We still get it on in the bed and so on and so forth. Only 10%. 10% out of 100%. 10%. So the misnomer that a man marrying is gonna be happy is completely wrong. Like it's just we just need to throw that out the window. Because once again, we know the statistic that women divorce men at an 80% clip. It's proven now. And if a woman has some college education, it's 90%. I wonder why that number goes up. Reason is because women become haughty. Women start to think that they don't need a man because they have a degree. Now, this is the part that gets me, guys. This is the part that I would just not understand. I just won't understand it. Now, if you focus on black women in particular, they make, on average, about $42,000 a year. Only 9% of them earn over 75% per year. So more than 50% of them earn $42,000 and below. Only 9% of them make over $75,000 and above. So we're saying 91% of black women earn less than $75,000 per year. And most of that 91% earn less than $42,000 a year. Are you guys following my drift? So, something ain't adding up, right? Something really ain't adding up. They're not making a lot of money to support themselves or their family. So why is it that they still carry this attitude of them not needing men? The answer is this: because somehow, some way, separate from their annual income, they are getting subsidized somewhere else. This could be either child support, this could be alimony, it could be some kind of government assistance, Section 8, or food stamps, something. Meaning the government has replaced the man in the home, even though they're not making a lot of money, so the government is now their new husband. You guys get it? You guys get it now, right? Because it makes sense, right? How can if most black women are earning $42,000 and below, they obviously need help. They need financial help. But here's the thing. They don't necessarily need help from a man. They just need help from something. And most of the time where they get it from, this is why they get pregnant. And they get that tax-free child support from the man. It's tax-free. Or they get subsidized with their housing where they only pay, let's say, $50 a month. And something that typically would cost $2,000 for a 2-bedroom apartment, now it gets subsidized by the government. You guys get it? Okay. So that's what that's about, right? That's what that's about. Because when black women always say, I don't need a man, but I want a man. And the reason why they say that they want a man is simply for pleasure's sake. It's either for sexual pleasure or it's for some form of financial gain. This is the modern women today. Now, guys, I hope you guys understand that when I say modern women, I don't mean all of them, but I'm talking in general terms. I hope we understand that. We should understand that by now. Okay. Now, how does this all tie into the rich man? Okay. Now let's talk about Shannon Sharpe. Shannon Sharpe. Okay. So, but before I get to Shannon Sharpe, you guys understand that now we have now highlighted the fears that men have, right? Okay, so we're there. Cool. Now let's talk about Shannon Sharpe. Guys, please hit the like, hit the subscribe, please, if you don't mind. I really appreciate it. Right? Helps the algorithm, I guess. Okay. Now another thing, if you're a rich guy, so you think that because you're rich, that's going to save you. No, it's not. You think because you're rich and you've seen all the divorce statistics, the alimony that you could pay, the loss of your house. You say, you know what, screw it. I'm not gonna get married anymore. I'm just going to do what? Have a bunch of sex with women today, and that's gonna be the end of it. No, 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 no. That's not what's happening. That's Modern women today have become really smart. So they say, you know what, screw it. I never want a marriage anyway because they're divorcing at 80%, right? It is what it is, right? So what they're saying is, screw the marriage, I just want the money. So you decided, you know what, smartly, I'm not going to marry this woman so she doesn't have access to my property. She doesn't have access to alimony, right? And guess what? I'm not gonna have a child with her, so I'm probably gonna wear protection and so on and so forth. But you know what the new modern woman is thinking? If you are a rich and successful man, guess what? All she has to do now is claim SA, and you're gonna be paying the same amount of money that you would if you had to split your assets. This is what Shannon Sharp is figuring out. This is what Johnny Depp figured out. All a woman has to do today is claim SA. That's all she has to do is claim SA. And guess what? She can ask you for millions. It's pretty much extortion, guys. This is what these women try to do to Jay-Z. This is what they're trying to do to Shannon Sharp. This is what they try to do with Johnny Depp, and so on and so forth. Now, the icing on the cake would be if you got married to her, number one, and if you had a child with her. Now, if you had a child with her, that's just icing on the cake because now she gets to ask you for not only alimony if she wasn't working, but also now she gets to ask you for child support. On top of that you cannot run out of. You can't prenup your way out of that. And guys, prenups get tossed all the time. It's rare. It's what I wouldn't say it's rare, but if it wasn't done right, it'll get tossed out quickly. So you're back to square one. Get it? So what Shannon Sharp thought he was going to do was, yeah, I'm just going to have sex with her. So if I can dump at any time, and so on and so forth. But what he did not account for was SA. That's the part that men cannot escape. An SA claim. Because from a woman's standpoint that is struggling financially, if you have sex, she's fairly attractive. If you have sex with that woman and you're a multimillionaire, what is to stop her from claiming SA forever? At any point in her life, when things get really hard, or when you're about to sign a really lucrative contract. They've tried to do this with Jay-Z. They tried to do this with Shannon Sharp. They tried to do this with Johnny Depp. All these were what? And there are hundreds and hundreds of other cases that we would never know about that have been settled outside of court, civilly, that you would never know about because they probably got the woman to sign NDAs. So what's the point I'm trying to make, guys? What's the point? The point I'm trying to make is simple. The new game in town is called extortion. Because that's the one thing a woman it costs her nothing to claim it. Nothing. Nothing. And you being a rich man, you're going to panic because you don't want to get branded as an SA antagonist or an SA guy. You don't want to lose your job. You don't want to lose your reputation. You don't want to lose your prestige that you worked so many years and hard to do. You don't want to fight in court. You want to limit the amount of lawyer fees you're going to have to pay because sometimes you might have to pay for her lawyer fees as well. So what is a man to do? Fine, you said you don't want to get married because you guys divorce us for any reason whatsoever. Fine, cool, we're not going to marry you. Then you say, okay, you don't want to marry us, you just want to have sex with us, fine. We're going to ask you for SA. Money. What are we to do, guys? What are we to do? I tell you, man, this world right now, it is crazy. Like, men literally are stuck. It's like men right now are frozen. We don't know what to do. It's like we're damned if we do, damned if we don't. And then on top of it, if you're a rich man, if you're an athlete or whatsoever, you've now become a target. You're a target now. You're a target. My solution to wrap this video up is really simple, guys. It's unfortunate, but it's simple that we have to come down to this. I would say, if you want a family, you got to do it in another country. Probably Philippines, Africa, somewhere. That's the only solution. Of course, you're going to have your prenup. Always have a prenup. And you have to have kids outside the country. That's all I got. Because one thing we do know is the laws aren't changing anytime soon, not in this lifetime. Now, I will say this. Fine, if you say, you know what, I can't go out of the country, this and that, blah, blah, but I still want a family. Fine. This is the only way that this is going to change. The only way this is going to change. Number one, if you decide, you know what, I want to get married to a woman in the United States or UK, this is the only way that all this stuff is going to reverse. Number one, the courts have to grant 50-50 custody on principle, no matter what. It must be 50-50 custody, period. That's number one. Number two, the court must mandate that before you get married, that you have signed, that both of you guys have signed a prenup that you have both agreed to. A legal prenup where neither party was under duress. So that protects you from number one, that protects both of you guys from your assets. Whatever you came in with, so all that's going to be covered in the prenup and all that good stuff, right? It's going to be, so that protects you from your assets. You can write anything you want. As long as you both agree to it and it's legal and it's binding, cool, done. That's done. Number two, all states in the United States have to agree to automatic 50-50 custody. Period. That's number two. And if not all the states have this, then move to a state where it is automatic 50-50. That's number two. Now, when it comes to this SA thing, number three, whoever you decide to get into a sexual relationship with, make sure that there's some kind of app that she signs where anything goes and that she can never come other than grape. That anything grows, that anything goes, and that she cannot come back to you and claim SA in the future, ever. If those three things are in place, now we got a fighting chance. Now that will now alleviate the fears that men have when it comes to marriage. That would alleviate all that. Or even if you guys even want to be more anal, that 50-50 thing, the way it's 90% going towards women now, like custody now, switch it to 90% going towards men now. Or 90 to 100% goes towards men. Because the statistics show that a single father raising children is of the same effect as that child being raised by two parents. Right? But if it's a woman, single mother, the numbers are just god awful. Why the courts still want to do this and still uphold this is just one, we have a lot more female custody lawyers out there, and two, to entrap the man. Because the men are the workers. The men are the worker bees in the society, not the women. So they're gonna have to extract the money and enforce legislation to force the man to keep working. Because the child enforcement agencies, they get 60% of every dollar that you send to that woman. They are incentivized to actually collect that money for the woman. So this is why this thing is rampant. Completely rampant. Right? Completely rampant. So if the man is the one that had the woman, if the man is the one that had the children, they know he's going to have to work anyway. Right? They know he'll take care of the children because that's what men do. So they're not going to go after the women because the women don't make the money. And a lot of women don't like to work. Right? So that's my thought on this. Please hit the like and hit the subscribe, guys. You got to be careful, guys. You really have to be careful out there, especially if you're a man of means. And this is what Shannon Sharp is going through, right? Even if you're not a man of means, like I said before in the video, right? If I didn't enunciate it correctly, even if you're not a man of means, remember, women are looking for a come up. And one of the easiest way for women to have a come up is by child support, which means you got her pregnant like a dumbass, all right? So don't do that, right? Protect yourselves at all times. All right, guys, talk to you soon.